Rev up your engines!
Pitcho Gonzalez says, Scotty, why do four-cylinder Toyotas vibrate and idle? A lot of four-cylinder cars vibrate and idle. The ones that don't have actually anti-vibration parts inside the engine. Like you take a lot of the four-cylinder, especially the older Honda Accords, they were extremely smooth. But what they had was, they had a timing belt that ran the cam to run the valves, but then inside that, they had another belt that went to an anti-vibration shaft that spun to get rid of the vibration of a four-cylinder engine. And man, they were really smooth. Now, it costs more money to make them that way, and you lose a little bit of horsepower in the engine for that. But engines that can be made that way. Now, Toyota, to my knowledge, I've never seen one, never made any that had anti-vibration systems in them, so they'll vibrate a little. It doesn't hurt anything, and you actually get better gas mileage if you don't put that in, because it takes energy to run the anti-vibration system. And most four-cylinder engines are going to vibrate a little because they're little and they only have four cylinders. The more cylinders you add, the smoother they are. That's why ages ago a lot of the big fancy ones went to V12. Of course, they're really smooth with V12. You got 6 cylinders on each side and they all balance each other out. Eric Caraballo says, Scotty, is a Scion FRS a good, sporty looking, reliable car? Looking to buy one at a good price. Yes, you know, they're sporty, good-looking cars. I got a customer that's got one that he bought it for that very same reason. It was a four-cylinder one. He's loved the car. He got a standard transmission, and he likes how fast it is. He drives like a maniac. So he liked the acceleration of it. If it's an automatic, you know, they're a little on the slow side, I got to say. But as a standard, they're a very quick little car, and if you change the oil regularly, they're very reliable cars, too. And you can't really call it a sports car, but you did say sporty, and they are sporty cars. You know, Toyota never really was in the sports car market. That isn't their thing. Look at their new one. It's really a Subaru makes them. I've driven them, and they're nice cars to get around. They're sporty, but they're not sports cars. They're not all that quick. And for the money, a brand new one, I'd buy something else myself. Kevin Clark says, on a leased car, should I change the oil myself or have the dealership do it? Heck, change it yourself. Oil's oil. As long as you change the oil, you don't pay a bunch of money at some dealership that has something done. You're leasing it. It's not even your car. So, you know, what do you care? Just, and it's law. I know it's law, and it's law because of the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act, is as long as you keep the receipts of where you buy the oil and filter from and change it, you're proving that the oil's been changed. I know when you take the lease and you got to prove that you've maintained the car, they can charge money for it. But as long as you keep the receipts, it's legal. Because I had a customer, they tried to screw him over and say, oh, you didn't maintain your car. And he said, no, here's all the receipts of the oil, and I changed. And I said, you know, as an additional thing, if I were you, take a picture every time you're changing the oil, just to say, well, here's a picture of me changing the oil, and here's the receipt. Then they can't get you, and you save money that way. John Schupel says, Scotty, what do you think of the 2001 Nissan Altima? Not much. I had customers with them, and they had engine head gasket problems. Their automatic transmissions are garbage. They went all the time. I would never advise somebody to buy one of those. Now, if you buy a brand new one, it might work okay for, you know, the first 80, 90,000 miles, and if you're happy with that, you can go ahead, but they're not going to run like a Toyota or a Honda and go 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 miles. They'll bankrupt you then, because after Renault and Nissan merged, and then the Nissan quality just went down the toilet. Nissan's been on the verge of bankruptcy for a long time. They've had a lot of problems with productions and with sales. I mean, Ford almost bought them a long time ago, but then Ford stock went down when the market crashed, and they gave up with buying them too. Weaver says, Scotty, I got an 04 Buick Regal. Every 3,000 miles, I have to add a quart of oil. No spots in the driveway, and I replace the PC valve each time. What could it be? Hey, it's a 15-year-old Buick. It's just burning oil. Either the valve seals are a little rotten and worn, and they're sucking oil into the engine, or the piston rings are worn. If you actually want to know what it is, do what's called a wet and dry compression test. You take all the spark plugs out, then you do a compression test with a compression reader. Then you put like half a tablespoon of oil in each cylinder hole and retake the compression level. And if the pressure goes up quite a bit, it's the piston rings that are worn. But if the pressure stays the same, then it's the valve seals that are worn. And you can tell that the valves are worn. So you can test it that way. Either way, you got to rebuild the engine, so, you know, it's not worth fixing on some old thing like that. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.